There are many stories about the witcher called Geralt of Rivia, a mutant known for his white hair, two swords, and specific nature. One of the more unusual stories is his first meeting with Regis. You see, Regis wasn't just any companion. He was a higher vampire, a being which even witchers wouldn't try to kill. Yet, their meeting turned into one of the most meaningful friendships in Geralt's long journey. The Netflix adaptation of this encounter, well, let's just say it wasn't one-to-one as in the books. So today, let's take a closer look at how their meeting really happened, according to the books and the whole lore of the Witcher's world expanded by the video games. In the year 1267, as he did every year from June to September, Regis stayed near the ancient elven burial grounds of Fen Karn. During that time, he gathered herbs and roots. Some he distilled on site, while the rest he carried back to town. In August of that year, Regis noticed from afar a rather unusual company, a group made up of humans, a dwarf, and a gnome. The gnome, Percival, spotted a silhouette near one of the dolmens, mistaking it for a ghoul. Of course, it was Regis who quickly hid among the stones. A white-haired man called out to him, and Regis emerged, introducing himself to the strangers. He made it clear that he was unarmed and meant no harm. The group accepted his explanation, that he had hidden simply out of fear of strangers, which was perfectly reasonable in times of war. Zoltan immediately suggested that Regis join their company, since a medic is always useful in dark times. Regis, however, politely declined. He admitted that he didn't know much about who was winning the war in that region, only that near the river, refugees from Brugge and Sodden had gathered. The ever-suspicious Zoltan asked if Regis wasn't afraid of ghouls haunting the cemetery. Regis answered calmly, impressing them with his knowledge. Fen Karn, he explained, was a 500-year-old elven cemetery, and while corpse eaters aren't usually picky, they tend to avoid feeding on ancient bones. Zoltan invited Regis to their camp, but the vampire countered with an invitation of his own, asking them to visit his hut instead. At first, Geralt's company was wary of the barber surgeon, but the moment they stepped into his hut, all doubts vanished. Zoltan and Dandelion were overjoyed after tasting the expensive mandrake moonshine, while Percival admired the distillation equipment, all built by Regis. Geralt tried to keep his companions in check, but after a while, the barber encouraged them to enjoy a drink. He himself, of course, didn't take a single sip. As the night went on, the talk turned to different ways of digging up mandrake roots, one more absurd than the other. Regis praised the creativity of his guest, but explained that while mandrake is indeed poisonous and must be handled carefully, there are simpler methods. He himself used only gloves and a mask. He also educated them about the plant's hallucinogenic effects, which had given rise to the myth that a mandrake screams when pulled from the ground. But he reassured them that the roots that he had gathered were completely safe. In the meantime, Regis heard Geralt grunt in pain as the witches sat down. Concerned, he quickly asked about Geralt's condition. Regis could sense the faint trace of magic and connected it to the healing powers of the Dryads from Brokilon. Geralt acknowledged his deduction. Regis went on to explain that the pain in Geralt's joints was a side effect of the medicine, one that couldn't be helped. His remarkably keen sense of smell made Geralt a bit suspicious, but once again the barber gave them a witty answer saying that everyone has their strengths to balance out weaknesses. With each round of the spirit, the conversation drifted from complicated herbs to Geralt's romances, thanks of course to Dandelion's teasing. Regis even admitted he had once seen a stage play depicting Geralt and Yennefer's famous battle with the Djinn. Geralt stepped outside for a moment. When he returned, he found out that Regis had agreed to join their company. From there, the discussion turned into the usual drunken debates about politics. What is important, however, is that during that very night, Dandelion accidentally let slip the true purpose of Geralt's journey, and told Regis about the Child of Surprise. The next morning, the hangover company set off again. And that's how Geralt met Regis for the first time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories from the Witcher's world. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.